Chad's with deep, going deep. Chad and JT.
What's up, Stoke Nation? This is Chad coming in with the Going Deep with Chad and JT podcast, episode number 25 with my compadre, JT. What up?
Legend, what up?
Your phone's a little high?
They're a little hot, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, I think that's perfect.
Nice and low. Not too low. Perfect. What up, dude?
Chilling, dog.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You got your green tea there?
Black tea.
Oh, it's black tea? Is that more caffeine?
It is.
Ooh.
It's the closest to coffee.
Oh, okay. Dude, I'm trying to cut down my caffeine.
Yeah, you're at no caffeine now, right?
No, I have 2 cups. Oh, I guess 2 espressos in the morning. But that's significantly less than what I used to do.
What's it feel like when you put down an espresso?
Dude, it's so good. I just love getting jacked.
Or you just like feel like you can conquer a mountain or something?
Dude, I just like I drink it down and then like I get so amped that I need to watch like, Tom Cruise rock climbing or like a surf video or like, just like Craig Ferguson making jokes. I don't know why I said Craig Ferguson.
Craig Ferguson talking about his dad when his dad passed away. That was really touching.
No, that wouldn't really get me stoked.
That gets me jacked.
Does it?
Yeah.
Well, I haven't watched it, but it sounds depressing, but maybe it is inspiring. I don't know.
I don't want to spoil the show, but there was a TV show that ended with a montage of every character on the show dying. Mm-hmm. And one time before hitting the bars in Newport, I made my friend watch it with me to get jacked up. And afterwards he was like, why the fuck would that get me jacked up? I was like, dude, the artistry, dog.
Yeah. Yeah, I like more action-packed sequences.
A lot of death there, though, too.
That's a good call, but usually it's like mercenaries and stuff, so it's like throwaway dudes.
It's impersonal.
Yeah, it's not like it's Jason Statham or Statham or whatever getting the fuck beaten out of it. It's more like you're like, oh, that's just like that's just one of Dr. Evil's minions.
Yeah, it's not main characters that you have like a fucking super tight relationship with and like you're pulling for them to like live their best life.
Another thing I watch is Brad Pitt boxing and Snatched.
Oh, nice.
Dude,
yeah.
That one, because he's such a beast in that.
He's so devil may care. Like it seems like he like barely takes boxing seriously.
Yeah.
But he's like, but if I'm going to do it, I guess I'll just knock the fuck out of somebody.
Yeah.
It's always cool to have a casual relationship to your own excellence.
Yeah. Definitely. The sort of like indifference or whatever.
Yeah. Very hot.
Yeah, dude.
Well,
I strive for that all day, every day.
I think you're there.
You think I'm there?
Well, it's funny to strive for casual.
Yeah. Strive for cash?
Yeah. The strive for chill. But it is. Everything's a process.
Yeah. Because you don't want to be one of those dudes who's like constantly flexing their power on people, It's kind of like that's a huge turnoff.
Yeah, because I think what it is like when you're doing that, it's you're not allowing other people to be at peace.
I think it shows insecurity. It's much more impressive when like the guy's just like kicking it and you're like, what did he do, dude? And then he like does a backflip and you're like, oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. If you knew a guy for like 15 years and you were buddies and then all of a sudden he did a backflip and you were like, this whole time we've known each other, you've been able to do backflips and you have kept that inside, I'd be mad. I'd be like, you piece of shit. Yeah. And I'm calling you that because you're so much better than me.
Yeah. And I'd be like, you do backflips for me every day from now on. Maybe that's the burden of having too much flex. You know what I mean?
Not quite.
Well, when you have that much flex, it's like, that's a lot of flex. And it's like sometimes you just like have so much where you're just like, it's like raging inside of you like the Great Hulk. And you're like is that how you say it? The Great Hulk? Whatever. The big Hulk. And you're just like, you have it inside of you. And then you're just like, I don't know what to do. Instead, you just like keep it contained. Does that make any sense?
Totally. I heard the late great comedian Patrice O'Neill described his friend Robert Kelly when he was starting off in stand-up. Robert Kelly's like a big, like kind of like bull in a china shop type of personality. Yeah. And he go, dude, watching you right now is like seeing the Hulk try to be Bruce Banner.
Interesting. The whole, oh, wow.
Yeah, like Robert Kelly was trying to like fit in and like make the crowd like him, but he wasn't. Yeah. which is, I get it, but it wasn't what he was meant to do. You know what I mean?
And he was watching Patrice just
Be himself.
yeah. That'd be a sweet place to reach.
Yeah, where you're like comfortable being the Hulk. It's like that great poem by Marianne Williamson that's in like Aquila and the Bee and Coach Carter. Probably surprised you guys going Aquila and the Bee first, where it's like our greatest fear is not that we're inadequate. Our greatest fear is that we're powerful beyond measure.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if that's what we started off talking about, but like when you're not afraid of saying I am like all of this.
Yeah.
I am special. That's a
Dude, I think you just exemplified what we were talking about right there when you threw out that quote from I don't even know who, with words that I don't even know what they mean. I think you have that in you. I think you have that that flex in you. Dude, I feel like you in your like early years you'd get into trouble, you'd like throw dog shit somewhere or something, and people would be like, dude, what are you doing? And then you just like very eloquently explain it in like a Shakespeare soliloquy. You'd be like, how dost thou throw dog shit on thy porch? And they'd be like, what the fuck, dude?
I'll be like, I will not lie. Reflecting now on how I threw that dog shit at your house, I see nothing but immaturity and a lack of consideration. But in the moment, all I could think about was how funny it is to see dog shit surprise someone.
Dude, if I were the guy who was the victim of that prank, I'd be like, dude, it is hilarious. You're right.
This is actually good that we were talking about these guys dying and like the lack of feeling towards them, because I wanted to get mega deep and just be like, what do you think happens when you die?
Dude, I have a pretty optimistic view on it. I think you still have awareness and you rise, from your bod or whatever, and you're like, later, dude. And you sort of like, and you see like the white light and you just filled with like love and stoke. And you're like, oh, I'm free of chains of like human anxiety and emotion. This is just, everything is just made out of love. And you return to that. And then like the universe or whatever, Zeus is just like, what up, dude? And you're like, dude, I knew it the whole time when I was a human, but like I didn't like know it. And he's like, yeah, it's pretty trippy, right? And you're like, yeah. And he's like, all right, what do you want to do next? You want to be like a cougar, or you want to be a human again, or you want to be like one of those aliens in Independence Day? And you're like, yeah, it would be pretty cool to battle Will Smith. And then he's like, all right, you want to kick it here for a little bit? And he's like, and you're like, yeah, let me just take like a little breather, and then like I'll dive into that life. I think that's what happens.
That was fucking beautiful.
Thank you. What do you think happens?
I hope what you say is exactly what happens. Like, I've never really articulated my perfect afterlife, but the one that you just described brought fucking tears to my eyes. That sounds really, really good.
Becoming an alien in Independence Day?
Well, just having the choice, just
Yeah.
having those options. And the way you described like pure love and like letting go of the anxiety and emotions,
Yeah.
I was like, oh, so it's bliss.
Yeah.
And I think that also, if that's bliss, then what we're going through now is just a precursor for that. So this is part of that bliss.
It's experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I just think when you die, everything goes black and you just don't exist forever. I don't think I'm feeling anything, which really horrifies me because, but the good part about that is that it's kind of existential. So it's very existential. So it means live now with complete gusto because you got to make this shit count.
Yeah. I think that's a good philosophy to have in life. Like there's one yogi who's like, live as if there's a katana hanging above your head all the time. But where do you think this all comes from?
Like the earth and stuff and matter and like all the
Or
things that make
just,
up
like,
the universe.
Existence.
It's a great question. And I guess my answer would be, I think there is a God. I do believe in like a superseding intelligence that created the universe. I just don't think whatever that force is gives us more than what we get in this life. I think that's all God gives us, is just this finite amount of years. And once that's over, you've fulfilled your opportunity, basically.
But since we don't know, we have the power of choice. So why don't you choose to believe in like a dank afterlife?
Well, I choose to have people in my life who believe in a dank afterlife. Like, you believe in that. My girlfriend believes in that. My parents believe in that. Most of the people I'm closest to believe in that. I feel structurally incapable of believing in that.
That's interesting.
But I like being around people who do. Like, I got super baked with my girlfriend and our friend Jay the other day, and they were both like, no, I think the soul carries on.
Yeah.
And I'm like, does the soul remember? And they're like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But they both had such beautiful visions of what comes next. And I loved hearing that from them. It made my heart warm. But it was more of like a vicarious thing where I was like, that's so great that they think that. But I'm like, and I don't even mean this in the way where I'm like, oh, I'm an atheist. I mean, I used to be like that where it's like, oh, I'm an atheist. I'm smart. Like, if you know about logic.
Yeah, but I feel like when if you like meditate and stuff and you try to get to like the center of like awareness and just it's such a blissful feeling
State, for sure.
state that you're just I don't know.
No, I'm with you though. There have been moments about, like, when I first got into like sex addiction stuff, you know, like all those addiction programs are built around a higher power. I mean, I felt humbled in like a beautiful way where I was like, oh, I'm just this little thing, part of a bigger thing. And if I can submit myself to that and just let whatever this bigger thing is take the wheel, my life will be so much better.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's a spiritual thing as much as it's like a psychological thing.
Yeah. I think that's the dankest thing I've learned. Is that the power of choice, you know? If you have the proper mindset, you can say, you know, like a lot of people will just like confine themselves to certain things. They'll be like, oh, I'm just, you know, I'm not good with chicks. I'm not charming. I'm not confident. I can't ride a longboard. I don't like scooters. You have the power of choice. So you can just like, why confine yourself to that when we have the ability to learn, you know?
Right.
You can learn to like Skechers. You can learn to like tight jeans and start listening to like emo music. I think that's the coolest thing about life is like, if you have that mindset, like that growth mindset where you're like, oh dude, I have a choice, you know? I'm just this guy who doesn't bronze and doesn't like Skechers. You can be like, no, you can become a guy who bronzes and like Skechers, unless there's some biological reason why you can't bronze. And like, I guess choice is involved in that.
Basically, if you have the mindset that you're like espousing, like it can be anything. Your life can be whatever you make of it.
Yeah.
I think that is the right way to think of it. I think the one thing like I would say though is that like it's probably good to accept some limitations in yourself too.
Of course.
There's this like perfect intersection between like self-determinism and like self-acceptance. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know where that, I think for every person it falls at a different inflection point.
Yeah. Knowing that you can like, you know, you have the choice to learn and to improve, to always grow. I think that's important.
Yeah.
And by the way, that wasn't an endorsement of Skechers. I think they're fucking weak. And I wear Vans only, but you know, but I can choose to like them someday. I don't know. I
also wanted to talk about how do you hang out with like upperclassmen?
It's so tough.
It is. It's hard.
Yeah, I think the one of the best approaches is to like kind of fuck with them. I would always do that with my older brother's friends, you know. I found the best way is I would just like mess with them, you know, like try and wrestle them or you know, especially because I was smaller, so act bigger than I am, you know, and that was always, they called me a shithead most of the time, but there was love. It was like a lovely shithead.
Yeah. Don't take it personally.
Yeah.
I would take it personally. Like they used to call me shithead and then after a week I'd be like, my name is JT. It's not shithead. Like why would you call someone you're friends with shithead? Yeah. I'm JT.
I remember when I got my first car when I was like 16, I took a bunch of photos by the rims, you know, just like fucking around, just like look at these rims, dude. And then my brother's friend commented, he's like, "You're a shithead," and I was like, "Thank you, dude." You know, I was pumped.
Yeah, it feels good to have someone who's like, you know, is watching over you and keeping you in check.
Yeah, I think that's the best move to fuck with him. I think one time my brother sack tapped me. I was like 6, so I came in. He's laying on his bed all cocky. He's like, "I just sack tapped Chad," and so I came in with the double fist. 2 hands together, cocked, hammer down right on his cock piece, and he cried. Sorry, Mark. But I still smile when I think of that.
That's funny. My dad's friend's kid was at our place one time and he was annoying me talking about Pokemon. So my brother and I just went up to him with a BB gun and I said, run. My brother had no idea what was going on. He was running out in the yard and I just shot him in the waist. And
Did it go through?
It went punctured the skin.
Nice.
And I was like, my brother's like, good shot.
Yeah.
And I'd never been hit by a BB, but I had heard like it's no big deal. It's just like a little, like cut.
Was it in there?
It was in there. The kid ended up like fainting. And his dad was like, what did you do? What did you do? I was like, Christian, it's fine. Like, it's just a BB. He's like, it's not fine. They took the kid to the hospital. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? I'm like, oh, they're just going to pull it. But I'm still trying to be calm. I'm like, they're just going to pull the BB out.
Yeah.
My mom calls me and she goes, Jean-Thomas, the BB is moving towards his vital organs. He has to stay overnight. It doesn't look good. She hung up. I was like, did I just fucking kill somebody? Then my dad calls me and he goes, hey, Bob, the lawyer, is coming over, you stupid fuck. He's going to come prep you for when the cops come to fucking arrest you, you dumbass. Why'd you shoot a fucking kid with a BB gun? I'm like, I have no
How old
answer.
were you?
I was like 13 or 12.
Oh, shit.
So my dad's friend Bob comes over and he goes, so JT, what happened? What are you going to tell the cops? I go, I'm going to tell the cops the truth, that I was being an idiot and that I shot this kid with a BB gun and that I never intended it for it to go this far. He goes, you're not going to say a word of that. You're going to say you shot it off a can, it ricocheted and it hit him. And I was like, fuck. Turned out he was okay. They got the BB out. It didn't kill him. I went to the hospital the next day, talked to him about Pokemon for a couple hours and did a sincere mea culpa.
Dude, whenever you talk like your mom, even when it's something serious, it sounds hilarious. Jean-Thomas, it is moving towards the vital organ.
Funny.
Like, Mom, you're hilarious.
Yeah, she is really funny. I think they might have just been trying to scare me.
Oh.
You know?
Yeah, because my brother shot me with a BB gun in the neck, and it didn't move. Bob the lawyer.
Dude, when he came over, he's like, what are you going to say? I'm like, the truth. He's like, no, you're not.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Like, this is real life. Like, you tell the truth and he dies.
Yeah.
You're going to jail for manslaughter.
Holy shit.
Manslaughter is such a heavy phrase.
Yeah. I know. It sounds so much worse.
Yeah.
Slaughter. That's scary.
They should just call it like major fuck. You've been convicted of a first class major fuck up.
Yeah. What are you in for? Fuckery?
Just intense fuckery.
Yeah. Get out of my face.
Do you hear Halo Top, this like healthy ice cream phenomenon, is underfilling their pints?
Yeah, I don't trust these ice cream brands with their like, yeah, we don't even have carbs or whatever. I'm like, bullshit. And then they like underfill. Bullshit, dude. Ice cream's ice cream. Halo. Quit trying to flex like you don't have carbs. We know the truth, big carbs. That is big carbs coming in with their discreet Mission Impossible style whatever. They're just like, yeah, this isn't real ice cream. Eat it. And then like everyone gets carved up and it's just like, I'm sick of big carbs. What's your take?
I like where you're going. I think all ice cream, like no matter how you frame it, like healthy, vegan, made of bubbles, it's all going to make you fat.
Yeah.
And it should make you fat because it's the fucking best. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I've never been into like, if I'm going to get dessert, I'm going to get like dessert. I'm not going to do like, oh, well, you can do like a healthy alternative where it's like you use goat cheese and then you just use berries. I'm like, no, if I get dessert, I want to fucking go in hard and just like swallow something down that's like terrible for me but tastes fucking amazing.
Yeah. I want a banana split with whipped cream and I want the canister so I can do whippets after. The full experience.
And then I just like that they're underfilling pints. Like you just get it at home and it's like a quarter of the fucking thing.
Yeah.
And then you get four more and you realize you didn't just get a bad one. You're like, no, these fucks are not giving me all the ice cream I deserve.
Yeah.
It's like when your friend's like, hey, you want to split this in half, and fucking gives you like a fucking super small little quadrant while he gets like 3/4 of it. You're like, you're an asshole, right?
maybe just to take other sides, maybe Halo's like trying to help people out. They're like, this is the proper serving. And so maybe Halo should be suing them for being fat asses.
That's always funny too when you see like what an American portion looks like versus like a French portion. It's like six meals smaller.
He's like big American.
Yeah.
What? My ice cream's not full?
Yeah.
Get the lawyers.
Give me my ice cream.
God damn it. Give me my cob-free ice cream.
It's funny that like gluttony and like self-improvement and these things that feel so essential to the way I think about life, or like people perceive them as just like tenets of being American.
Yeah.
They're like, in France we don't have self-improvement. You are who you are, and that's just it, and it's fine.
Yeah.
And we also don't believe you have 2 ounces of fish and a small cup of rice and that's dinner. I'm like, the fuck are you talking about, dude?
Dude, yeah. And then like what was I gonna say? Oh, I was watching Blood Diamond, you know?
Sure.
And it's just interesting that like, you know, there's all these atrocities happening around the world, and then what's newsworthy in the US is like we're not getting enough ice cream in our pints. You know? You're like, oh yeah, these mercenaries chopped my son's arm off. But dude, have you seen these Halo pints?
That's like the Joker in The Dark Knight. He's
Yeah.
like, if a bomb goes off in Kabul, it's okay because it's expected.
Yeah.
But if you bring a little disaster here, no one knows what to do.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh yeah, that is true. Like it's all relative.
Yeah.
I mean, because I'm the one doing the news stories, and I'm like, hey, let's talk about these pints of ice cream. To me, that was like fucking needed to be discussed hard, dude.
Dude, one of my favorite lines in Dark Knight is like, give me one reason why my boy over here shouldn't pull your head off.
Pull your head off.
Is that what I think that's what he says. And then he does the pencil trick. He's like, how about a trick?
I make this pencil disappear.
And it's gone.
Would have liked to have seen the Joker in his teen years.
Yeah. I would have like, I like to see him prepare for those showings, you know, because, you know, he has a bunch of like grenades in his jacket, and he puts his fingers in like the things. He's like, all right, got to get them in here. And just, oh, fuck, this is dangerous.
Yeah, it's heavy.
All right, Joker. He's like looking in the mirror. All right, you're going to pull these out when they come at you, okay? You're going to pull them out. And he practices it. He's like, all right. Then you're going to do the magic trick.
Let me take off my vest. I'm burning up in this thing, and it's heavy as hell.
Yeah.
Oh, it's terrible. I don't want to put my makeup on today. It's 105 degrees.
Oh, it's going to run. I'm going to look like shit.
I look like shit.
God damn it.
We'll do the attack tomorrow.
Yeah. All right, minions, go get some Subway.
Go, minion.
We're going to postpone. It's hot as fuck. Does anyone have any AC around here?
Did you see this story about a woman forced a man to have sex with her by holding a machete to his throat?
Yeah, I think it's awesome.
Me too.
I think it's awesome.
I was like, that's so hot.
Yeah.
Like the danger factor.
Yeah.
I'm busting super quick.
Dude. She looked hot too.
She's pretty.
I think we need to you know, at these cases with like, this might be controversial, but like these teachers boning students and stuff and like machete sex. I think the law needs to like, I think Johnny Law needs to like be a little more subjective. You know what I mean?
Every case is different.
Yeah.
She also urinated on his bed.
I dig it. I love it.
Yeah, it just keeps getting hotter and hotter.
Yeah. Dude, if I walked in and like this girl was like pissing on my bed, I'd be stoked. Then she breaks out a machete. I'm like, oh fuck, what are you gonna do? You know what I mean?
Yeah. This is the second time she did something like this to him too.
Nice.
Like every time that guy comes home, he literally has to open the closet. Like, is the boogeyman here?
Yeah. She comes out with a blowtorch. Fuck.
Quick, probably too dirty story. Before I lost my virginity and I was terrified to lose it, or I was terrified of not losing it, I almost hired a hooker. I went to a hotel in Irvine, and I got a room, and I found some hookers through the web pages, and the girl I ordered ended up not being able to make it, so she sent in a replacement, and then she comes into the room and she goes, "Man, it smells in here." I was so nervous, I was like stinking, and I had chugged a few bottles of the snack bar booze. She comes in, she gives me a kiss. It was like the nastiest kiss ever. And then she goes, "Real quick, let me just check something out." And she opens the closet door to make sure I don't have any friends hiding in there. was like, man, this is a tough gig.
Yeah.
I wasn't able to get it up with her, so I paid her, and then she left, and then I went to Whole Foods and got a tuna sandwich.
Do you think that was think she was like, oh, this is a nice experience, or do you think she was bummed?
I think it was a total W for her.
Yeah.
And she was like, if you can't get it up, don't worry, I can peg you. And I was like, I'm kind of trying to do this step by step. I'm not trying to jump to pegging.
Yeah, that's like going from like you learning to surf and you go straight to shortboard.
Yeah, exactly.
Or
you go straight to Jaws.
Yeah, you could do it, but you're going to get fucked.
First time surfing, I'd like to do that at Waimea Bay.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, take it easy, bro.
Yeah.
Santa no free old man's for you, pal.
Yeah.
I'm always curious about like those stories of like selflessness when they get out. You're like, well, so you must have, because I've done really nice things for people. I never said a word about it, but I knew at some point
it would circle back.
Yeah. It's like Warren Buffett's like the richest man in America, but everyone's like, he still drives the same Cadillac that he's had since 1997. I'm like, why the fuck do we all know that?
Yeah. That's a good point.
Like he's putting it out there.
Yeah. By the way, have you seen my car? That shitty Cadillac? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we get it, Warren. Yeah, that's my piece of shit out there.
Yeah.
I'm worth $30 billion, but I got a Cadillac.
These are
I got a
Dockers.
97 Cadillac.
These are Dockers, everyone. Before we start this meeting, these are Dockers. This is from Ross.
I'm just a regular guy.
Yeah.
Everyone, I want you to know I'm a regular guy. I wear Dockers, I drive an old Cadillac, and all 5,000 of you are now fired from See's Candy. But I'm a regular guy. I'm a regular guy who fires a great deal of people.
I just love to read.
I'm a simple guy.
I just care about the game. See you guys later. Pack your shit up. Yeah. But I care about the game.
Yeah. All right, let's get into it. Chad, who is your legend of the week?
I have two legends of the week this
Nice.
week. My sisters, Bridget and Noelle, my older sisters. What up, Bridget and Noelle? I don't know if you listen, but what up? And they're just the best, you know. They're so caring. They take after my mom a lot, you know. So caring. It's interesting, you know. They take after my mom and dad a lot. You know, they're like very caring, sweet, nurturing, but they also have this drive to like, you know, work hard and achieve. And it's very admirable, you know. Noelle's an artist. Bridget started her own business, and they're both, you know, doing really well. They both have 2 kids. What up? What up, Henry, Zeke, and what up, Awen and Kaylin, my nieces and nephews. And yeah, I went to Disneyland recently with Bridget. It was amazing. Went with her and her husband Bruce and the kids, and we had a fantastic time. We rode the teacups. The kids. They rode like the biggest rides, you know. Like Kaylin is like 3 years old. She's tiny. She got on Tower of Terror, and I was like, "How are you?" She's like, "I was stoked." I'm like, "We are related." And then so they were just beasting through all those rides, and she's just the best. And you know, I just want to say, Bridge, you're a legend, and Noelle, she's pursuing art. She's teaching art in Chicago. She has 2 kids, and Henry and Zeke, they're just. Henry's a beast at gymnastics. Zeke is a beast at soccer. You know, Zeke's a little Michael Jackson fan, so we relate on that. He has good flow, and I'm talking about hair, but also probably dance wise too. I think we'll have to have a dance off soon. And yeah, they're both just major legends in my book. So thank you for being the best older sisters ever, and for nurturing young Chad. Yeah,
Beautiful.
who's your legend?
My legend of the week is Taylor Lautner.
Nice.
So the specific reason I'm picking Taylor as my legend this week is not really because of his acting ability. No disrespect to you, Taylor. I mean, keep doing what you're doing, and you know. But he was in Twilight, and his character Jacob was supposed to be, you know, the other love interest, the third part of the triangle with Bella and what's Rob Pattinson's vampire character name? Edwin. Way to pull that out, Par. But after the first movie, a lot of the fans and a lot of the people who saw the movie were like, no, Taylor Lautner is not masculine enough. He's not hot enough. He doesn't seem like a viable option compared to Edwin. So they had to so they were going to recast him with this actor from The Covenant, and some other movies, this pretty jacked dude. Steven Strait, who was like bigger, stronger, kind of, I thought, objectively more handsome than Taylor Lautner. So Taylor Lautner could have just crumbled into a ball and said, all right, goodbye to this huge movie franchise. I'm not a stud. That's just the way things are. I'm just not a stud. What did Taylor Lautner do instead? When he found out they were thinking about replacing him with this other jack dude, he started going to the gym like 3 times a day and put on 40 pounds of muscle and showed up in public and was like, now who's a viable option for Bella? And everyone's like, you are, dog. You get to keep your part and we're going to give you a fat role in these next 6 or 7 movies. And I just love that, like, when the going got tough, he hit the fucking squat rack hard, dude.
That's what you do.
And you know that diet was on point too.
Yeah.
For that, Taylor, you're my legend of the week.
Dude, that's beautiful. I didn't know that story. I didn't know he was that his part was at risk.
They were going to boot him.
And he hit the squat rack.
And then so at the top of number 2, he like pulls over on his dirt bike and just rips his shirt off. And I remember in the theater, everyone was like, woo!
Nice.
Way to go. Way to go.
Dude, that relates to our earlier talk of like, you have a choice, you know? You don't have to confine yourself to being a weak bitch. You can hit the steel.
You can always hit the squat rack.
Yeah.
Chad, who is your babe of the week?
My babe of the week is Kelly Ripa. I've always appreciated how toned she is, you know? I'm like, every time I see her, I'm like, wow, like, you're really toned. You really put effort into, like, toning up, which is, like, you know, it's just beyond epic. And she's just a mega babe in my book. And, like, she's been able to maintain her position. You know, she's gone from Regis to Michael Strahan to Seacrest. I don't know if there are people in between, but like she's been able to hold her own on that show while going through those fluctuations.
Revolving cast of characters around.
Yeah, so I think that's just like a testament to her strength as a host and stuff. And every time you watch her, she's just so full of energy. She just seems super fun. You know, again, so toned. So just like that tone and that fun is just like every time I see her on screen, I'm like, nice, you know. Maybe, I wish I had some like anecdotes about her, but honestly, she's just a babe for me because like, you know, like I would love to take her on a date and I really respect how she's been able to maintain a solid career. That's all I got.
Man, we are birds of the same feather because all of our beefs all of our babes and legends are kind of about the same thing, which is like just overcoming and being strong.
Yeah.
Because my babe of the week is Helen Keller.
Oh, nice.
I caught some of the Helen Keller movie, like the most recent one, a couple days ago, and just the fact that this woman was born blind and deaf. She's not only like a lecturer who travels the world like talking about what it is to be human, she's also like taking stances on like things like the suffragette movement and like personal rights and healthcare and stuff like that. It's just like the amount of work she had to do to get there is so much more than the amount of work that like it's just hard.
Yeah.
And she did it.
Dude, that's amazing. Her story's so inspiring.
So inspiring.
Yeah.
The most inspiring.
Yeah. Dude, Helen Keller was a beast.
She was coming from just darkness.
Yeah.
In every way.
That's interesting. She's like born into darkness and like found the light.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's crazy. So Helen, you're my babe of the week.
Mega babe.
Way to go. Way to make it happen.
Yeah.
All right, dude, who's your beef of the week?
Dude, my beef of the week is with myself.
Didn't you beef with yourself a couple weeks ago too?
I don't think so. Did I? I'm hard on myself.
You guys got to work it out at some point.
Hey, self, fuck you. Sorry, I love you. Yeah, my beef of the week is with myself because I showed the whole internet that I ate carbs last week.
What happened?
So I was doing a motivator. What was the motivator? I don't even know. I was so upset with myself, I forgot what I was even motivating about. But I went into the Poke Shack and ordered a Poke Bowl, and I was so wrapped up in myself and my own bullshit that instead of getting the green base, which is like leafy things, I got rice. And I showed the whole internet, and like a bunch of dudes were like, dude, are you eating carbs? And I'm like, oh, fuck, I just ate carbs, you know? There's just some moments where you're just like so wrapped up in your own thoughts that you can like put poison into your body and not even like, take a second to really like think about like what are you doing, And my beef was just with myself, just like stay level-headed, don't let challenges make you treat yourself worse than you deserve to be treated, like fuck you, dude. Yeah. But like I forgive you also, kind of. It's hard to do a beef with yourself because you're so angry, but you're also trying to maintain self-love.
Well, you have to live with yourself.
Yeah, and I have to live with the fact that I broke ketosis.
How do you plan on making amends to the internet?
I personally apologize to all the dudes that called me out. I was just like, oh fuck, thank you so much for pointing that out.
Yeah, and you could like donate like some money to like a paleo diet foundation or something.
Yeah. Maybe I'd just donate to Joe Rogan. I know you'd like that.
I'm smiling ear to ear. I love that.
Yeah.
My beef of the week is with people who program movies for schools and for old folks' homes. Because I watched the Helen Keller movie when I was visiting my grandma at her old folks' home, and I mean, it's these people are very, very old, and she's in the dementia ward, so they're not really like paying super close attention to what you're putting on for them. But do you have to put on the fucking Helen Keller movie? Like, just put on Fast and the Furious and give them some stimulation. Mm. And this goes to all people who program movies for people other than themselves, basically. Like, when I was growing up in school, they'd be like, it's movie day. They'd be like, we're going to be watching Gettysburg. I was like, dude, there's a better Civil War movie called Glory that has like way more drama and has like way better actors. Like Denzel Washington is in it. Just show us the good one. Mm-hmm. Like, why do you have to show us boring movies? And this goes tenfold for old folks' homes. Like, I know they have sensitive sensibilities because they're old and stuff, but dude, the Helen Keller movie, like, who is that for? The staff doesn't like it. The old people don't like it. The people visiting don't like it. Like, just put on something romantic and fun. Mm-hmm. Everyone, put on The Notebook.
Yeah.
That's probably a bit too on the nose with the dementia stuff in that movie.
No, but it's a romantic story of love.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah, imagine if they had like a good like programmer of movies and like he's like, today we're going to watch The Matrix. And everyone's like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But instead they're like, oh, they're old, so they must like boring movies. That's what I don't like about it.
Yeah.
Like, oh, these people are old and they have some illnesses. So you know what they like? So since they're kind of like boring, let's show them boring movies.
Yeah.
No, my grandma's dynamic as fuck, dude.
Yeah.
Put on a fucking movie that's going to get her hyped. Sure, how Stella got her groove back.
Yeah.
About an older chick going to the Bahamas and dating a younger guy and getting like some new joie de vie, new spice in her life.
It's almost like they've given up on them.
They've given up. When you're showing Helen Keller to people, you have given up on them having a fun life.
Let's have these old people get their fucking groove back.
I'm smiling at all the old people when I'm there. I'm like trying to give them a little bit of zest.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I know these people work there every day and I just drop in once in a while. It's easy to be fun when it's not a daily grind.
Yeah.
But it's like, dude, you could be showing them movies that excite them.
Wouldn't that make your job more enjoyable too if you walked in and Tyrese is punching through a Ferrari window?
Yeah. You'd be like, hell yeah, I want to work here more.
Yeah.
And then there are guys, like, because we went there and like there was that one guy who was like the master of ceremonies for their things, and he'd sing like Frank Sinatra songs and stuff, and he's good.
That guy's beast.
Yeah, the big Polynesian guy who's like a great crooner and has like good like charisma and stuff like that. That was cool, but like I think also a big part of staying excited is like having new stimulation. You know what I mean? And I know they're old and they're gonna fuck with you a bit, but I don't know, man. I think you got to take more chances.
Yeah, totally agree. They've got life.
They've got takes to give. Do you want to do an ad?
Oh, yeah. What's up, Stokers of Stoke Nation? This podcast is brought to you by Douglas Lubricant. Douglas Lubricant is the finest in fine lubes. We at Douglas strive to give you guys the best sensations when you're boning. We want to make it smooth. We want to make it sensual. We want to make it smell good. And we want to make it go right. And that means proper function. And you want to give your partner the best experience, don't you? Don't you?
You do.
Yeah, you do. So choose Douglas Lubricant and bone well and bone hard, but most of all, bone smooth. Douglas comes in a number of fragrances. Smooth, which is a new flavor, kind of a cinnamony, strawberry, original, and anal. Par, what's your favorite?
Strawberry.
What's your GF's favorite?
That's up to her to say.
I respect that. And my favorite's anal.
But I am allowed to say this. I love making love to you, honey.
Beautiful.
Yeah, can I do a quick one?
Yeah.
Quick ad. It's for UCI baseball and their coach, Danny Babona. He's a beast. If you're a up-and-coming ball player and you happen to listen to this podcast, you know where to go to school. UC Irvine. Like I always say, they should have called it UC Newport Beach because it's right there. All right, let's get into it. Some questions. What up, Chad and JT and the entire Stoke Nation? Longtime listener, first time writing in. Love the pod, boys. Keeps me juiced at work and my Stoke meter tacked out. I wanted to take this time to address that on this day in 2001, Paul made a choice to break his oath to the law and become possibly the best street racer to ever grace the streets of California. Shout out Dom T for giving him the op, though. Paul's commitment to brotherhood, Skylines, Chuck Taylors was a positive impact not only on my life, but to the youth as a whole. I don't think Paul gets the recognition he deserves for not only having great flow, but also for just being a total badass. When I was thinking about sending it via DM to babe I met at the gym, or whether I'm going to switch up my Chipotle order that day, I like to think how Paul would approach the sitch. I'm reminded that Paul would for sure drop another gear and worry about the consequences later. This is the mindset we should all have. So yeah, shout out to Paul being the bro for all bros out there, and for just having the mindset to pull trig and knock your boy's sister up. Such a power move, dude. Keep doing what you guys are doing. Stoke Nation was 100% behind you. Let's all have some BL smooths in honor of America's great rip. America's hero. Rip PW.
Dude, that guy, he perfectly illustrated Paul's influence on our lives.
It was, yeah, well said. No question, though.
He totally gets it. He totally gets it.
Yeah, you do get it.
Yeah. So thank you for your, do you have a word for what?
Testimonial.
Testimonial. Thank you.
What up, Chad and JT? First off, thanks for all the dope pods. They continue to bring my Stoke level up every day. Lately, my Stoke has been lower and I need help getting it back up. I've known this girl from high school. Now I'm a senior in college. And she was the girl who would hang out with all the boys and rage back in the day. The best, man. She recently mentioned to one of our friends that she's into me, and so I decided to try to make a move. We kissed and it felt super natural. We hang out a couple more times after that and would kiss when we would say goodnight, but nothing else. Now I haven't heard from her in like 2 weeks, and every time I try to do something with her, she bails. So don't know whether to keep trying to pursue her or to move on. I also will be going back to college in a few months, so again, pursue or move on.
So like, it's like his first love.
It's not his first love. It was like his road dog girl.
Yeah.
Like she was like a part of the crew.
Yeah.
But now it's clear he has feelings for her. And at first she was reciprocating, though not to the extent he was probably hoping. And now he doesn't know what to do.
Oh, she kind of back it away a little bit.
Yeah.
My advice would be, if she's backing away, I wouldn't try to get her back too hard. You know what I mean? Because that could drive her away even more.
Right.
You know, if you're like, what happened? What's going on? Like, why do you want to go, like, you know, go to Denny's or something? Like, please, let's go to Denny's. Then she's gonna be like, just like get away from me. But
right, like maybe she's feeling the pressure from him and it's a little bit of a turnoff. So if he actually gives her room to make up her mind, he's got a better shot of her deciding to be with him.
Yeah, and then he could maybe just get back to like his mission in life. I think that's like just get back to living your life, like whatever it is you do, like BMX, typing, drinking tea. Get into that and just be like, she'll be like, hey, what's up? And be like, oh, I'm just, you know, typing a lot of words per minute.
You just described a remarkably well-rounded person too.
Thanks. Yeah.
BMX, typing, making tea.
Yeah.
When I picture those interests as a person, it's a good-looking dude.
It's like an extreme British dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is kind of like hot.
Yeah.
I would say just cut to the quick, man. You could go 5 more months banging your head against the wall wondering if she likes you and just thinking a million different iterations of hypotheticals. Call her. Say, I have a crush on you. I want to take you out on a date. I'm very serious about this. Just get to the end. What up, Chad and JT? My name is Harry from Salt Lake City, Utah. Great city, man. Me and my squad are huge fans of the pod. After listening to episode 18 where you roast parking enforcement, it made me and the squad laugh so hard. Myself and most of my squad working in parking enforcement on a college campus. What advice do you guys have for parking enforcement officers on being more chill and not ruining people's lives? It's hard to keep the stoke tank filled when you're constantly draining other people's stoke tank. Please help, Harry.
Dude,
Wow.
we've thought about this before, actually.
Yeah.
I would, if we can sort of bounce off each other's, one idea is, wear cooler clothes. Maybe throw in a Hawaiian in there so like people know you're like a cool parking enforcement guy.
Yeah, I think improve the aesthetic and appearance that you guys have. That's a
Yeah.
big one. I also just want to say how beautiful this is. Like, I don't like it when people are on opposite sides of a conflict and they demonize the other side as if they don't have anything in common. So I want to give a lot of credit to Harry for taking the negative that we were saying and still trying to find commonality with us. Thank you, Harry, for you seem like a good dude, man.
Definitely.
This is making me more like, this is making me reflect back on some parking enforcement issues I've had and being like, maybe they were more like Harry. Like maybe they did care how I felt.
Yeah. I like how he's like, and it made us laugh so hard.
Right.
He's a solid dude.
He's not taking it personal.
He's a good dude.
You're a good dude, Harry.
Personalize the parking tickets.
Yeah.
You say, "What up, dude? Sorry, I have to,
I got to ding you.
Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, yeah. And if they're like official tickets, you could just like scribble something in there, like, by the way, dude, like this isn't really me. It's just my job, and like you're a cool dude, I'm sure. And it's just like it's the way things are, homie. But like, I love to drink Bud Light.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Also, maybe do a blog.
Yeah.
Like, because I think you'd be a great ambassador for all of parking ticket people. So if you did a blog called like My Kooky Uncomfortable Life as a Parking Officer Enforcement Agent, it'd be a fun read. And then people could like kind of get a more humanistic perspective on it.
Dude, that could be hilarious.
Harry, dive into it, dude. What up, Stoke Kings? I recently was introduced to All That Was the Pod, and I love it. I thought you fellas could help me out with the situation I'm in. This weekend was full of raging and chugging with the boys, but one night I was blessed with the company of a beautiful girl, and we got to canoodling. Mid-sesh, I noticed that Bad Boys 2 is playing in the background, so I started watching for a while. She kind of got upset and left. I felt like that was a tough one right there. Like, I love making out, but Bad Boys 2 got to be one of my favorite films. Tell me what you think, fellas. Keep up the good work. Whale.
Dude, I think she should have been more understanding. I think she should have been stoked to watch Bad Boys 2. I think that's a clear sign that maybe you guys don't have the same interests and maybe it's not a compatible relation.
I'm always preaching sensitivity, but I got to say, I think Chad's kind of on the money with this one. It's like that was like kind of like a dog whistle and she didn't hear it. So maybe you kind of got out of this one easier and earlier than it might have gone otherwise.
What if she was like got pissy for watching and then you look at her and you go, I own this fucking town. And she did, and if she doesn't get it, and you're like, all right, I guess this isn't gonna work.
Yeah, you can just, and you don't have to be a jerk about it. You can send her a really nice message and say, hey, I had a really good time with you. I'd love to see you again. But one thing you need to know is that Bad Boys 2 isn't going anywhere in my life. Oh, what is up, my dudes? Basically 4 years ago, met this Chetty who is a complete smoke. I've never heard Chetty. She caught wind that I had a crush on her, and instead of making my move, I began to neg her super hard around my friends, so they'd think I was tough and didn't actually have feelings for this girl. Gotta keep the rep up for the bros. Now 4 years wiser and chiller, I am seeing her for the cat she is, and I'm wanting to right my wrongs. What's the best way to show her I've transitioned to a more enlightened state and have those same feelings for her from 4 years ago and want to explore them? Love the pod and all that you guys stand for. Keep enlightening the stokers. Keep stoking the flames all the way from Texas. P.S. She's got the same name as my mom. Tight or not, Big Sherm.
He was negging her, and now he wants to like right his wrong.
He's like, how do I show her that I'm not that same immature dude who was like trying to like show out for his boys? Just be nice.
Yeah.
Get her to hang out with you and show her that you're a different guy. I don't think it has to be like a grand statement or anything.
Yeah.
Or you could do that. You could like give her a really like ornate speech about how you've evolved.
Yeah.
I mean, you still got to, put your money where your mouth is in the day-to-day grind and be that nice guy that you want her to know you are now. But yeah, just tell her, hey, look, I'm not that dude who said your hair looked goofy in front of my 6 chimp friends. All right. I'm a guy now who's looking to take you to a nice Italian dinner.
Maybe a combination of the two. So like be nice, and if she says something like, "Hey, like you're a cool guy. That analysis of like holes of the book was like amazing." And you're like, "Yeah, well, I've changed a lot in years, and you know, I don't feel the need to call you a dumbass anymore because I'm a mature man and I want to take you to dinner."
Hey bros, hoping you can help me out with this one. I just graduated high school and my stoke meter is on the rise with college coming up and the prospect of constant partying, meeting new bros, and fire babes.
Nice.
Amen. However, there's one thing that is draining all thought from my head. I've been dating the same girl for the past 2.5 years, and it's time to decide if the relationship should go on into college. At first, I was certain I didn't want to date in college. As soon as I felt this middle of senior year, I broke the news to her because I didn't want to keep it from her. She was extremely unstoked about it, and after crying, she asked me if we could still stay together until after prom, and I agreed. Ouch, that's kind of rough. I was extremely hurt to see how much I could hurt her, and it truly depleted my stoke levels. Yeah, I understand that. I have immense feelings for this girl, and I do love her, but I just don't see us staying together in the long run. We have been kicking it and having a good time since, and now it is summer. I feel it is time to either end things or decide to try dating in college. It would hurt me so much to see her with someone else, and I feel like that fear is what's keeping me from ending things. Also, they say you don't know what you got until it's gone. I have a deathly fear of that being the case as well. Should I end things now and work on my game this summer? There's an extreme babe that has shown interest in me that I'd like to hit before going off to college. Or buckle down and stay in this relationship due to the strong bond we have created. If you think I should end it, please give me advice as to how without destroying your feelings. Currently, I'm leaning towards ending it. Thanks for the advice and keep up with the podcast. You bros fuel me. Can truly say that my beast ways are inspired by the indirect listens I learned from going deep with you bros. Keep up the amazing work. Fuck Puzio. Thank you, man. P.S. If possible, could you email me back what podcast episode you answered my question in? I got a late start in the pod, so I'm a little behind, but I want to hear y'all's answer ASAP. Yeah, for sure, dog. We'll let you know. I might pee real quick, actually.
Okay.
I'll be super fast.
Hey, what's up, Stokers? So, before we get into this question, because I want JT to be here while he answers, I just want to say what up. I hope you guys are having like a super solid day. My name's Chad Kroger. Yeah, I've been really into eggs and spinach lately, and yeah, you know, I've been kind of bummed lately because I got a haircut, and so like, you know, there's always like a time period when you get a haircut and you're like, I want this to grow back, you know, and also like it's been kind of cloudy, so like usually by this time I have like a lot more like blonde highlights in my hair from the sun, but not as many so far. So like I'm feeling like a really strong urge to get back in the sun. So here's JT, and we're gonna answer this question. What up, JT?
My dogs.
JT's back. So yeah, I think he should probably end it.
He's got to break up with her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna be tough.
It's going to be tough, man, but you seem like a sensitive guy. I mean, just, you know, do it in person and don't put any animosity into it or get caught up in any animosity if she tries to take it that way. Just say, look, you really love her, you'll always care about her, but you just need to move on for yourself.
Yeah. For each other. You know, move into the next chapter.
Dude, it's really smart because it's not really fair to drag her along if you don't really love her. So just like, or I mean, you love her, but if you don't want to be with her. So if you let her go, the quicker she can like get through the process of getting over you and have a good time in college too.
Yeah.
And of course you don't want to see her with other people. I mean, no one does. I mean, I've like exes who I'm like, I should still get back together with them, so I'm the most important man that they've ever had in their life. Mm-hmm. And none of these other guys like take my top spot. But that's just rampant narcissistic ego. And it's fine to have it, but can't let it dictate our choices.
Mm-hmm.
What up, Chad and JT? Love the pod. I'd like to remain anonymous for this question because it's something that has been really draining my stoke for a while. I'm a fresh 21 years old, and against my will, Mother Nature has decided to use cruel and unusual punishment on me by taking away something near and dear to years of my own heart, my flow. My hairline has taken a turn for the worse, and I'm no longer able to rock my golden flow anymore because it just looks horrible. To give you an idea, I went from Paul's flow in Fast and Furious to Jason Statham in The Fate of the Furious. My question is, how do I maintain my stoke as Wheel, the hottest girls my school has to offer, without good hair anymore? I need any help you bros can provide for me to live up my last year of college. P.S. My coworkers listen every weekend. You guys are truly inspirational.
This saddens me.
My hair started to go on me. I couldn't handle it, so I started taking a Propecia, finasteride. It helps recharge your hair growth, and now people tell me all the time how thick my hair is, so it definitely works. There's side effects. People say it can make your dick feel like an attachment, like a rubber attachment. That's what some guy actually wrote on an online review of it, because it kills some people's sex drive. I've had none of those issues, and some people say it can make it hard for you to have a kid, but I talked to my doctors about it, and they're like, that's and not just the hair doctor who gave it to me, like my regular physician, and he said that's just on boosted doses. So I can pretty safely recommend, if you really want to keep your hair and you have some cash, to do the finasteride Propecia.
Yeah.
Secondarily, though, I would say chicks dig bald guys. I read articles all the time that say it's a sign of high testosterone, so women are unconsciously attracted to it. Maybe not at college. At college they might still like hair. But I would also say the sooner that you can deal with not having the hair and you can still have confidence in the face of that, the stronger you'll be as a person overall.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about it before. Dudes who rock the no hair look, and just, you can't imagine them with hair. You're like, I need this guy without hair.
Right.
If you can become one of those guys, if you can become Bruce Willis, you're set.
What's up, boys? It's QB. I have a serious dilemma that I think is going to affect me from laying the pipe this upcoming semester. Have you ever noticed a lot of our fans they're into laying the pipe?
Yeah.
So long story short, last semester I hooked up with this chick and she stuck her finger up my pooper. Whatever, it happens. At chapter the next morning, word got out that it happened, and my whole fraternity made an ongoing joke for the rest of the semester. That's just what boys do. So now I'm afraid my pool ratio is going to be on the decline due to girls finding out about this. Do I own the fact that it happened, or do I keep trying to tell people to put the joke in the gutter?
Own it.
Yeah, dude. Don't be a fucking square. You
Yeah.
got a finger in your butt. You know what's cool? Is doing what you're into.
Yeah.
If you're not into it, it's just something that happened. You don't need to give it a second thought. But if by some, biological or personal reason you are into it, do it.
I don't think chicks would be turned off. I think they'd be like, oh, he's comfortable. He's open.
I would just remember this. The guys in my frat who are making fun of me about this aren't that funny. There's way funnier things to joke about.
I think they're jealous that you're so open.
Yeah, and that you're having fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of those guys probably aren't even getting laid.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's always that argument too. Like, well, at least chicks are near my private parts.
Yeah.
Where you at, Ted? You haven't been laid in 3 semesters. And everyone's like, oh, but then you feel bad. Ted kind of crumples up into a ball and looks small. And you're like, I'm sorry, man. I didn't mean to call you out, but you were calling me out. Quick story about that, about dudes getting into that, oh, I'm the man, you're the man. One time my brother and I, his friends were on one side of the beer pong table, we were on the other, and we were going back and forth, and we started talking shit to him. We're like, fuck you guys are all a bunch of bitches, whatever. And my brother goes, yeah? Well, I lost my virginity before him to me. And I was like, and everyone was like, oh. And then I went, fuck you, dude. You're still a virgin, bitch. Oh, I lost my virginity way before you. And everyone was like, oh. My brother and I were both virgins when we had that argument. We were both lying. The pressure of the moment got to us.
You're still a virgin, right? Yeah.
Yeah, then we admitted it a month ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Is that it?
I think that's it.
Guys, that will be it for episode 25 of the Going Deep with Chad and JT podcast. Thank you guys so much for writing in, for being stokers, for being just the best. Keep writing in. We love the questions. Females too. Write in the question. We love getting questions from ladies. We love the ladies. So keep writing in as well. And I just want to make sure it's, when I say guys, I mean dudes and girls. Give us if you haven't, give us a rating and review on iTunes. Those are dank. Those help us out. And you want to check out Buzz content, go to our Patreon, patreon.com/ChadGoesDeep. And just stay stoked, guys. Stay fucking stoked. You want anything?
You said it. Stay stoked.
Wow. See you guys later. We gotta find a time to do the podcast.
What's with